The rain had been falling since morning, turning the streets into mirrors of gray and silver. When the old man stepped through the revolving doors of the Grand Harbor Hotel, he paused for a moment, letting his eyes adjust to the glow of crystal chandeliers and polished marble floors. Everything inside gleamed with wealth. Everything, except him. He wore a simple dark coat, clean but clearly old, and carried a small leather bag with scuffed corners. His posture was straight, dignified, but his face showed fatigue, the kind that comes not from age alone, but from years of responsibility finally set down. At the reception desk, two clerks laughed quietly over a screen. Alessandro Romano stood patiently in front of them, waiting for acknowledgement. 1 minute passed, then 2. A young couple walked in behind him and was greeted instantly with bright smiles. "Welcome to the Grand Harbor," the clerk chirped, ignoring Alessandro completely. The old man cleared his throat softly. "Excuse me," he said in careful English. "I have a reservation." The clerk glanced at him, eyes traveling quickly over his coat, his bag, his shoes. The smile vanished. "Please wait, sir," the clerk said flatly. "We're assisting other guests." "I was here first," Alessandro replied, still polite. The clerk sighed, annoyed. "Do you have ID and a confirmation number?" "Yes, of course." Alessandro opened his bag and pulled out a folded paper and his passport. Before he could place them on the counter, the clerk waved a dismissive hand. "Sir, this hotel is fully booked. If you're looking for budget accommodations, there are smaller places nearby." A few people in the lobby slowed to watch. No one intervened. Alessandro felt the familiar sting of being judged by appearance, a feeling he hadn't experienced in decades, yet recognized instantly. He slowly put his papers away. "Capisco," he murmured. "I understand." He turned and walked away from the desk, his steps steady, his pride intact but bruised. He told himself it didn't matter. He had slept in worse places once. Much worse. Near the lobby sat the hotel restaurant, warm and softly lit. Alessandro entered, hoping at least for a cup of coffee. He took a small table by the window and sat down. The sounds of cutlery and low conversation filled the air, but no one came to him. Waiters passed by, carrying plates of expensive meals, laughing with well-dressed guests. Minutes went by. His stomach tightened, not only with hunger, but with the quiet ache of being invisible. Just as he considered leaving, a young waitress approached his table. She held a menu and wore the tired smile of someone halfway through a long shift. "Good evening," she began automatically, then stopped. She looked at his face more closely. At his eyes. Something about them felt familiar, comforting, like her grandmother's gaze when she used to tell stories of home. Without thinking, the waitress smiled warmly and said, "Buonasera, signore." Alessandro froze. Then he slowly looked up. "Buonasera," he replied, surprise lighting his eyes. "Parla Italiano." The waitress blinked, startled by his reaction. "Un po'," she said shyly. "My nonna was from Naples. She taught me when I was little." For the first time that day, Alessandro smiled. Not politely, not carefully, truly. "That is a beautiful gift," he said, switching back to English. "Thank you." Her tone changed instantly. She pulled out a chair slightly. "Please, sit comfortably. Can I bring you something warm? Soup? Coffee?" "Yes," he said softly. "That would be wonderful." She returned quickly with bread, soup, and water, placing them gently in front of him. "This one's on the house," she whispered. "It's cold outside." As Alessandro ate, warmth spread through him, not just from the food, but from being seen. The waitress checked on him often, asking where he was from, listening attentively as he spoke of Italy, of Florence's quiet streets at dawn, of how much he missed hearing his language spoken kindly. He did not mention money. He never did. When she learned he was having trouble with his room, her expression darkened. "That shouldn't happen," she said firmly. "May I see your confirmation?" She took the paper, her eyes widening as she read the name. She didn't recognize it, but something told her this man mattered. "I'll be right back," she said. At the front desk, the atmosphere changed fast. Screens were checked, names were searched, faces went pale. "Mr. Romano," the clerk stammered. "Presidential suite. This can't be." "It is," the waitress said calmly. "And he deserves an apology." Minutes later, The hotel manager himself escorted Alessandro upstairs, bowing repeatedly, offering upgrades, champagne, apologies. Before leaving the restaurant, Alessandro turned back to the waitress. "Grazie," he said gently, "for speaking to me when no one else would." That night, as rain continued to fall outside the Grand Harbor Hotel, Alessandro Romano looked out from the highest floor, not thinking about the insult at the desk, but about a simple greeting in Italian that reminded him of who he was.